Alright, so here's the deal. So what I'd like to do right now is to make this section also dynamic, or other more courses or other courses also dynamic. So we're gonna be loading all the information that we got in our database about all the courses. So it's gonna be really fun right now. Alright, so let's start working on it. I'm gonna simply jump into let me localhost slash php my admin. Alright, so let's get our database. Okay, this way. Jump into simple NMS. Let's just jump into course details. And there we go. So we got these. I'm gonna just delete the other tables because we just put them as a test. Gonna just delete them. Don't need them actually. Yeah, let's just delete. Let's just keep just these two. So what I'd like to do is the following. I'd like to get these two courses to be displayed here. So if we have 4 courses, it's going to be displayed all over here. So let's get to work. So I'm going to jump into my courses. I think this is the more courses here, right here. And let's start working on the top here. So I'm going to add a PHP tag. Oops, PHP tag. Let's close it down below. All right. So actually what we need an array that contains all the titles. So let's do it. So I'm going to be, actually, let's do it on the top here. Yes, here. I'm gonna just copy this one, and let's go down, paste it in here for the content. Let's call it all titles. All right. So here for the we don't need to get one variable. So this get var is gonna give us only one variable. This one or one. So actually, what we need to do is to replace it by call, meaning column. So we need to get the entire column, which is the entire column like this. So get column, all right, select contents, actually select title from our database where our ID is equal. So actually we need to remove this condition. We just need to select, when using the column, all you have to do is just say the number of the column that you want, which is title. So I'm gonna just remove my condition here. All right, I think now it's straightforward. So we can do some tests. So let's echo all titles, because since it's going to be an array, so the get column is going to give us an array. We can set, for example, the first element. And what do you expect? What do you expect when doing this? We're going to get this one, course number 1. Let's check that out. Go to the top, do refresh, and as you can see, we got course number 1. We can do the second element, so 1, because we're starting from 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's do refresh. We must see the next course, which is awesome. All right, so we're going to be using this one for the title. Actually, what we need, let me check. So we're going to need the thumbnail, the title, and this one is the course creator, and here we got the duration, the course duration. In this course, in this lecture, I'm gonna just be focusing on the thumbnail and the title. You can get the same thing, you can follow it. You can use the same method to get all the other elements. Okay, so let me just think about that. So actually there is 2 ways to get the thumbnail. We can get the post ID, and based on that ID we can get the thumbnail, or we can save it here. So we can find some way to save it here and retrieve it the easy way. So I'm thinking of which way is gonna be better. So both ways do the same thing, but I think the professional way is to get the title, is to get the ID. So basically get the thumbnail based on the ID. You know what, let's do it. But actually we must do it for everything. So once we get an ID, we can get all the elements based on that ID. Alright, so let's do it. So instead of getting the title, I'm gonna be getting the IDs. So all IDs. So here, let me replace it with all IDs, and get column select ID from our database. So let's see if it's working or not. I'm gonna do refresh, and we got 10, which is the second one, and if we set it to 0, we're gonna get 9. So right now I'm gonna be writing this. So get so we need to write get the title. Let me just show you. So echo get the title of what? Of this ID. So I'm gonna just copy it from here, and let's paste it inside, and let's see if it's gonna be working or not. So refresh, bam, we got it. So this function, if we give it so for example, if we write here 10, so this is what we did. Let me just explain. So if we write here 10, it's gonna give us the title of this ID, which is 10. All right, so let's refresh, got it. So this is what I'm doing. I'm getting all the IDs, and I'm doing it here. So I think that's, if you have any questions, you can ask them. All right, so that's it for the title. Let's get the thumbnail. So for the thumbnail, I'm gonna be using this. So echo get the post thumbnail URL. So this is the function that we're gonna be using, and inside it, let's put, for example, 10. All right, I'm gonna save. Let's go back here. Let's do refresh, and we got a problem. So I don't think that this function exists. So get the post thumbnail. Yes, I didn't write it right. Thumbnail URL. So let's save. So refresh. Bam, it's working. So we got the thumbnail, which is awesome. We can just copy it from here, HTTPS, and we can paste it here, and we're gonna be seeing the thumbnail of that post, which is awesome. So this is the right way to get the thumbnail. So we get the title and we get the thumbnail. Alright, so all we have to do right now is to make I'm gonna be making a loop again. So let's start from, we set another variable, which is I. Let's set j, let's make it equal to 0. Let's close that, and let's go back here, and let's do this. So while all IDs, actually the count of all IDs, the count, which is the number of all the IDs that we got. So echo this one. So while the count of all IDs, which is 2, so then this number is 2, equal to 2, because we have the count of IDs is 2, 1, 2. All right, so while this count is bigger than 0, oh, oops, not 0, it's bigger than j, so do the following, which is to echo these. So let me just copy them and paste them here. Also, we can just delete all of this, don't need it anymore. So get the title of all IDs of 1, but here we need to make it dynamic, so I'm gonna be putting it as j. Same thing on the bottom side, so j, but we don't need to forget to increment the j by 1, because otherwise it won't gonna stop this loop. So imagine if we discount, so this count is fixed, so this is the condition that we're using. This count is fixed, which is 2, but j, if we kept it like 0, so 2 is gonna be always bigger than 0, so this loop is gonna run over and over again. But by incrementing it by 1, so right now it's equal to 0, next loop is gonna equal to 1, and next loop is gonna be equal to 2, and 2 is not bigger than 2, so it's gonna stop. So this is the goal. So let me just save. Also, I'd like to add a break. So let's echo, not a string, but a break, just so that we can see it one on top of the other. So let's do refresh. And as you can see, we got the title and we got its thumbnail. And here we don't have any thumbnail. Let me just add it. So producing, yeah, let me just add some thumbnail here. You can use anything, not anyone. So on desktop, let me just find an image. Let's use this one. Alright, so let's set it as the feature image. All right, but also here the title is not updating, so actually we need to add another course. Let me just add another course, and for example we can make it let me jump into Udemy to get some inspiration from here. Let's use, for example, 1 days of code. Let's copy this, let's go back here, let's paste it, and for the image I'm gonna be using any image that I have. So for example here, do we have some image? Yes, bike idle. Let's just copy that or use that, upload it. So let's set it as feature image, and I'm gonna press publish. All right, subtitle, price, yeah, all we need is just these two. All right, so let's go back here, let's refresh, and as you can see we got 3 elements, 22. Yeah, why do we have this one loaded twice? I got the thumbnail, producing with Pro Tools. Oh, that's weird. Let me check here. So we got 3 elements. So here we, as you can see, we got a bug. So we're always getting this 0 ID. So actually we need to start from 1. So basically here, what about, let's start from 1, save, let's go back, let's do refresh, and as you can see we got just 3 courses that we need, but I don't see any of the thumbnails. Why is that? Get the title with the post URL of 1. Oh yeah, I think I got the problem. So here we should be putting all the IDs of J, because we need to get the post, we need to put here the post ID or the course ID, which is 10 or 9, not 0 or 1. So let's refresh, and bam, we got all the IDs. All right, so I think this way is we got it figured out. So I'm gonna just copy this, just cut it. I'm gonna go down to where we have here more courses. Let me just cut it from here. Let's go down again and let's paste it here. All right, so actually I'm gonna be checking which one is repeatable. I think this is the thing that we keep repeating over and over again. So let's copy it. I'm gonna just copy it from here, Control C, and I'm gonna be pasting it here. So echo, and inside the parentheses also, let's close it, can put this stuff here. All right, something like this. Echo this. Also, let's move it a little bit forward. Okay, let me save. Let's go back. Let's do refresh, and we got a problem here. So inspected call. Yes, actually, yeah, I think I got the problem. So we're opening the PHP and we're closing it here. So actually, we need to use a unique quotation marks. So we can use, for example, just the 1. And let's close it here. Just a single quotation marks. All right, so let's do refresh. Now it's still not recognizable. So why is that? So we got another problem here. Let me check it. So at line 277, which is here. Yep, we got it again. So actually we need to let's use this one, the other quotation marks, the one that we use with the database. So let's see if it's gonna be working this way. Bam, it's working. But I forgot what we were doing. Yeah, down below. So here, as you can see, it's duplicated, which is awesome. All right, so actually it's not duplicated. Can add here just to spot the location of that. Test, where is test? Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got it here. But it's not echoing this. You know what, let's go back to the one singular, and this one we can just delete it, or we can use the bigger one. Oops, let's do it here. Alright, so let's save, go back to refresh. Bam, now it's working. So we should not be using this the one that that's angled quotation mark. So now it's working. But actually we need to use this so this is the one that is keep repeating itself, but it has two divs on top of it. So I'm gonna just copy this, Control C, just put it outside the PHP tag, and we need to close this. So we have this one, two divs. We need to have two divs at the bottom, these two. Just copy them. Let's go below our PHP function. Alright, so let's do refresh. Let's go back. I think we're getting closer. Yes, we're getting closer to this. So all you have to do right now is to, I'm gonna be removing this. Just remove everything that we got, and I'm gonna start replacing. So here we have the background, or the course thumbnail. So instead of using this one, I'm gonna be using this one. I'm gonna just copy this and paste it here. But the problem that I'm seeing right now is why it's not a PHP, even though we added. So I'm gonna just remove everything here, and actually if you are inside PHP we must do points so that we can exit that. No, actually it's nothing. So let's do the same small quotation marks again, and inside it let's put this. Alright, so let's go back, let's do refresh. Got a problem. So we're echoing, yes, we're echoing this. We don't need to have the semicolon at the bottom. So let's save, let's do refresh. Still nothing. 281. Let's check what we got right there. So echo, yeah, actually we don't need to add the echo, not double echo, so let's just remove it. Save, go back, do refresh. It's working. But what is this first? Yeah, actually it's here. Bam, as you can see, it's working just like magic. We got the 3 courses here, which is awesome. Each one has its own thumbnail. So we need to do the same thing for the title. So this is our title that we got here. I'm gonna just do the same thing. I'm gonna just remove this, and let's open the small quotation marks so that we can have access to the PHP double points, and let's paste the title. So just the variable, there is no to add the echo or the semicolon. Alright, so let's save that, let's go back, let's do refresh. Bam, we got it. So you can see that we have this deforming shape, but this is because of the images. The images are not even. We need to use a specific image. Alright, so we got this. I'm gonna just remove the bottom ones. So actually we don't need this. I'm gonna just remove this div. So this one we don't need it. So let's save. Let's do refresh, and actually we got it. So our courses are dynamic, so we can add the breaks, some breaks on the bottom, double breaks until we add. So in the next updates we're going to be working on our theme, WordPress theme. So we're going to add the footer and the header automatically. Alright, so that's it for this lecture. So I'm going to be adding more stuff in the next coming lecture, so take care.